Welcome back to my channel. Today, we explore the value of specific coins, the most valuable double-die penny coins value in market. First up, the humble 1999 5 coin is often overlooked, but in the world of coin collecting, even a coin as ordinary as this can sometimes carry surprising value. Today, we're going to explore what these coins are really worth in today's market, what makes some of them special, and why collectors are willing to pay more than face value for a piece that originally was worth only 5 cents. When the euro was introduced, coins dated 1999 were among the very first to be struck, even though they did not officially enter circulation until 2002. Each euro coin has a common reverse side showing the globe and the value, but the front of the coin depends on the country that issued it. The 5-cent coin is made of copper-plated steel, weighs just under 4 grams, and is about 21 millimeters across. At first glance, it looks like a coin you might ignore, but its story is what makes collectors pay attention. In general, the majority of 1999 5-cent coins are very common. They were minted in large quantities by countries like France, Spain, and others that adopted the euro. Most examples that you find in circulation today are worth only face value. If you have one in average circulated shape, you should not expect it to sell for more than $1 or $2 at best. However, coin collectors always search for exceptions, and exceptions are what bring real money. The first thing that can increase the value of a coin is its condition. Collectors prize coins that have sharp details, strong luster, and little wear. In fine condition, a 1999 5-cent coin might bring only a modest premium, often $100,000. A coin in near uncirculated or mint state, however, could reach $150,000. These prices are not life-changing, but they are significantly more than the coin's face value and prove how condition matters. But here's where things get exciting. Some coins struck in 1999 show striking errors, especially certain French issues featuring the image of Mariana. A small number of these coins were produced with distortions or misstrikes, creating what collectors call error coins. Reports in European media describe these rare examples selling for hundreds of euros, with some valued as high as 800. In US dollars, that means well over $850 for a single coin that originally was worth just 5 cents. That is the kind of discovery every coin collector dreams about. If you think you may have one of these coins, the best thing to do is examine it carefully. Look at the portrait for signs of distortion, check the edges for doubling or misalignment, and compare your coin to reliable images of known errors. If it looks unusual, you may want to have it evaluated by a professional grading service. On the other hand, if your coin is just a normal 1999 5-cent in fine condition, its market value today is modest, only $1,000.
Next up, the 2017 5 coin in very fine condition. At first glance, it's just a simple copper-plated steel coin worth only 5 cents in everyday spending. But as with all coins, the real story comes when you consider the factors that drive collector value: rarity, condition, and unique characteristics like errors or unusual mint marks. If you've come across one of these coins in your change or already have one in your collection, you might be wondering how much it could be worth today in US dollars. Let's break it down in simple terms. When collectors talk about coins being in very fine condition, they mean the piece has clearly been used in circulation, but the design details are still strong. You'll see some wear on the high points of the coin, but the numbers, letters, and main design elements remain clear and attractive. Very fine sits above fine, but below extremely fine or uncirculated. For many Eurocent coins, the difference between fine and very fine can make a real impact on the selling price, because collectors prefer sharper detail even in circulated pieces. Now, what about actual market value? The truth is, most 2017 5 coins are extremely common and generally sell for only a modest premium. On average, in very fine condition, you might expect a value somewhere between $2,000 in US dollars, which is already a nice jump from face value. However, there are some standout cases that show why collectors pay attention to small details. For example, A 2017 Belgian 5 cent was listed for around $1,080, far above its base value. The reason in that case most likely comes down to either rarity of mintage or collector demand for Belgian issues from that year. On another site, a Dutch 2017 5 cent was offered for about $7 in circulated condition, which shows the more common market range. So the reality is that while some coins reach very high asking prices, the majority will trade at more moderate levels. What could make your coin more valuable than average? The biggest factor is whether it carries a mint error. Things like double strikes, off-center minting, or other noticeable flaws can send values much higher, even into the hundreds of dollars if the error is dramatic. Another factor is the specific country that issued it, because each Eurozone country produces its own design and some mintages are smaller than others. Collectors also pay close attention to eye appeal. So even within the very fine grade, a coin with nice, even color and clear details will often attract more bidders. If you suspect you have one of these coins, the best step is to get it checked by a professional coin dealer or submit it to a grading service. Clear photographs shared with collector groups can also help identify whether it's a common piece or something special. Just remember that prices online often reflect asking prices rather than final sale values, so treat high listings with caution. Still, there's no denying that a little 5 cent from 2017 can be worth far more than pocket change when the right factors line up. So, the bottom line, a regular, very fine 2017 5 cent will probably bring you between $2,500, but rare errors or less common mint issues could fetch anywhere from $3,000 or even more. It may not make you rich, but it's definitely worth checking your coins closely, because you never know what treasure might be hiding in your change.
Next up, the 5 cent coin is one of the smallest denominations in the euro system. It's made of copper-plated steel, weighs just under 4 grams, and is used across the Eurozone. While most of these coins are produced in huge numbers and circulate with almost no collector value, some years and some special versions stand out. Rarity, condition, and unusual features are what separate an ordinary pocket coin from a collectible item worth real money. And when we look at 2019, a few examples begin to shine. One of the most notable is the 2019 Netherlands 5 cent coin, specifically the proof version. Unlike ordinary coins made for circulation, proof coins are struck with special dies and polished blanks, giving them a mirror-like finish and much sharper details. They're usually produced in small quantities for collectors rather than for general use. In 2019, the Netherlands issued only about 3,000 proof 5-cent coins. That number is incredibly low, especially for such a small denomination. Because of that scarcity, these coins are classified as extremely rare and highly sought after by euro coin collectors. Now, what does that mean in terms of value? Let's look at the market. On platforms like eBay, you can find listings where sellers are asking around $250 for rare 2019 5 cent coins. By comparison, a regular 2019 German 5-cent coin might sell for less than $1, often just a few cents above face value. This huge gap tells us how much rarity and condition matter. A coin that most people overlook could be worth hundreds if it belongs to the right category. So how high can the price realistically go? For a rare proof coin in perfect condition, especially if it has been graded by a trusted service like PCGS or NGC, the value could reasonably reach $300 to $500, maybe more in the right auction with strong collector interest. But remember, not every 2019 5-cent coin is valuable. The vast majority are worth only face value. What makes the difference is whether the coin is part of a limited proof issue, whether it has an unusual minting error, or whether it's in flawless mint state. If you're curious whether you might have a valuable one, here are some quick tips. First, check the origin of the coin and see if it belongs to a proof set or special issue. Second, look up the mintage numbers online. If they're low, the coin has potential. Third, inspect the condition. Coins that are uncirculated and without scratches always bring higher prices. Fourth, watch out for minting errors like off-center strikes or unusual misprints, as these can be very collectible.
And finally, don't just rely on what sellers are asking. Check completed sales to see what collectors are actually paying. So there you have it. A simple 2019 5-euro-cent coin could be worth up to hundreds of dollars, but only under the right circumstances. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like the video, subscribe for more coin stories, and share in the comments if you've ever come across a euro coin that surprised you with its value. Thanks for watching, and keep your eyes open. You never know what treasures might be hiding in your change.
Next up, the 5-euro-cent coin is a small copper-plated steel coin weighing just under 4 grams and measuring just over 21 millimeters in diameter. It's part of the standard Euro series, used across all Eurozone countries. The reverse side is the same everywhere, showing the globe and the denomination. But the obverse side, the national side, changes depending on the country that issued it. That's where a lot of the collector interest comes in. In 2010, Euro countries continued to strike millions of these coins for everyday use. For that reason, most examples are extremely common and usually don't fetch more than face value. However, condition, minting errors, and country of issue can make a difference. An example in uncirculated or mint state could attract more attention, while coins that come from countries with lower mintages are always more desirable. Now, in your case, we're looking at a 2010 5-cent that's in extremely fine condition with a few scratches. Extremely fine means the coin has circulated, but the details are still sharp, with most of the design visible and no heavy wear. Light scratches, though, do lower its appeal to serious collectors. That's because collectors are generally willing to pay premiums only for coins in uncirculated or proof condition, where the coin still has its original mint luster. So what kind of value are we talking about here? For most 2010 5-cent coins in extremely fine condition, the price is usually just a little above face value, something like to a plastic tool.